Ruben should join us.
Ruben is not here yet. What happened?
I don't know. He should be on. I mean, he knows about it. He said it. He told me about it. So
I think he knows.
he should be on in maybe a few minutes, few seconds.
Hey, Ruben,
I do not know what happened. Should I phone him?
Oh, you want me to phone him, Rabbi? I can phone him quickly.
Mark, if you could phone, yeah. Rav, how are you keeping in the
Michael's
meantime?
going to phone. Okay, go.
Okay, so he's
He's maybe on another call. He declined the call.
Okay, he'll come.
Yeah, I think he'll be.
You see what happened? It says if you leave me for 1 day, then I'll leave you for 2. The Gemora says, "In tazvenu yom, yomayim ezveka." If you leave me once, I will leave you for 2. Since we had a break, unfortunately,
Adam,
for type of reasons,
can
so
you help me, please?
it's difficult to get back to routine. But I'm very grateful to you that you were prepared to come tonight.
We're grateful for you, Rabbi.
I can't. When I put this on,
Rav, we appreciate you doing it.
Les, please
Yes.
admit Ruben.
I have.
Hine.
We've
Okay.
admitted.
Iphone.
it's not there.
The bell.
Hello,
This
hello.
is Ruben.
Okay.
I think
Hello,
Ruben's
Ruben.
joining.
Ruben,
Hi.
show me your face.
Yeah, you can see me.
Go a little bit.
There you
Oh.
are.
That's better. So I say, after a long break, unfortunately, for whatever reasons, maybe fortunately, I think it was a simcha or whatever.
Don't go away.
Yeah. So I'm happy that at least we can meet tonight. I'm sorry that we had to have it earlier than tomorrow night, because tomorrow night I've got Yortzeit after my late mother. So let be the learning tonight
Okay. Thank you.
for her neshama, for her soul. Tova Bat Yechiel Meir. We are to start a Mishnah in page 22b2. It's a long Mishnah, and we go slowly because he discusses many details. Just as to refresh your memory, we are dealing with a suspicion that the husband has got on his wife that she had a relationship with somebody else. So he brings her to the temple. After he warns her, whatever, she of course denies. Then there is a whole process of drinking what we call the bitter water, which we will prove whether she was guilty in adultery or not. And there is all kind of things we spoke about. There is a parchment that the Kohen writes, and there is a water, special water, puts a parchment in the water, so the letters will be there. It also there is a kind of a mincha, such a terrible thing. Every day it becomes worse. I'm forgetting my little knowledge of how to speak English. This was like a kind of
Then in Hebrew, maybe Les can translate.
יהושע, אני עכשיו התחלתי זום. אני אדבר איתך אחר כך, בסדר? אתה לא הולך לישון? טוב. There is kind of a flower offering that has to be, this is called the mincha. But we'll come to it a little bit later. Now, the Mishnah says, רבי שמעון אומר, אין זכות עולה במים המרים. Rabbi Shimon says that when the woman drinks the water, if she's got any merit, but she did got good things and so on, this will not affect the effect of the bitter water to make it, to bring to a decision if she's guilty or not. So no merits. She can do 1,000,001 good things for which she's supposed to have a reward. This will not affect the effect of a bitter water if she's guilty. And he says, Mishnah says, אם אתה אומר הזכות עולה במים המררים, because if you say that merit does hold the effect of this bitter water, which will, so to speak, not prove to what we are looking for, then you diminish the whole subject, all the aura of the waters in the minds of all women who must drink. In other words, when this water, what is the purpose of the water? The purpose of the water, on one hand, to be able to prove the husband comes with a complaint. Of course, the relationship between husband and wife is now a very frail relationship because the husband suspects, she denies, so the water is supposed to prove the point. But at the same time, it's got another purpose. The people, especially women, they should bear in mind not to fall into kind of a relationship with other men, lest she will have to drink the water. And this is going to be a kind of a, how will I say, a fear for a woman not to have a relationship or not to have a state that might bring her husband to suspect her to bring the water. So therefore, it's got a twofold purpose. One, that the woman who is drinking, it will will prove if she is guilty or not. At the same time, it will be kind of a warning or a threat to women not to fall into such a situation. However, if you would say that these water are not very decisive, because could be that if a woman is guilty, but because did so many good mitzvahs, so great things, and therefore the water will not have the effect, then obviously the threat to women not to fall into such a situation will not be there, because they know that this woman, they know her that she doesn't behave nicely, and nothing happened to her by drinking the water. So there is nothing that would stop her a woman, to stop her for not taking the risk, because she can see there are some women, but the water doesn't affect. So she might fall into a trap. So therefore, Rabbi Shimon says, a merit, whatever can be, that even if this woman, who she is suspected of wrong behavior, the water must decide, because otherwise, if the water is not going to be decisive because of kind of a merit she has, it's not going to help warning other women not to fall into such a situation. This is what's...
I can ask a question.
Yeah?
Now, we learned in the previous Mishnah that if she had a merit, the water doesn't work straight away. It could actually wait a year or two before it actually kicks in. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work immediately. So that doesn't prove the point.
You're right. This would come at later. We are talking about now. It's true what we learned in the Mishnah, that it does have some, can be a merit, but this merit, it can only delay the effect, but it's not going, eventually it will work. She may be a merit, the merit will the effect will be in abeyance, but not that it wouldn't be like nothing happened.
Yeah, but the whole point is that it's not going to be seen straight away.
So
So the point of the matter is that there is a delay.
They can't help it, but it won't straight away, but it will take a year or whatever later, but still have the effect. So the threat and the lesson to others will still hold. Okay? So therefore, when Rabbi Shimon says what he said, he didn't mean to say that it will not have an effect, but the merit will not cancel completely the effect of the water. It might be in abeyance, but not completely cancel the effect. This is, and therefore we say, the second thing is even what he says, that also there is another danger, and you defame all the undefiled women who have drunk the waters and survived. Because if you say the merit will help to cancel the effect, then what's going to happen? Women who drank and nothing happened to them because they had a merit which that had a result which didn't happen to them, then every woman she's a righteous woman, and it was the suspicion was wrong, and she proved herself that she's okay. However, because if we will have a situation that even if a woman is guilty, the merit does not give the results, then every woman who drank, although she is a righteous woman and she's completely innocent, people will say, no, she's in fact guilty. However, why the water didn't have any effect her because she's got married, but doesn't mean to say that she's not guilty. You follow? So
Yeah.
because of that, Rabbi Shimon says, in order that it should have the effect, the water, not only that to help whether the accusation of the husband is right or wrong, we have also the defense. So there are 3 points here. Drinking the water, the first thing is to help us to come to a conclusion about this woman, is she guilty or she is innocent. However, there is a second thing here, that if a merit will cover up that nothing will happen to her, then it will not be a threat to women to fall into a trap with wrong relationship with others, because they will say, we can see that nothing happened to this woman. In fact, she actually is guilty, but because if she has a merit and nothing happened to her, they think nothing will happen to me as well. A third point, the women that drank and they are completely innocent, people will not accept that she is innocent because they will say, no, maybe she's guilty, but she had a merit which has got the consequences. So because of all this, Rabbi Shimon says that merit, the effect of bitter water, merit does not all the effects. As we say in Reuben, doesn't mean to say immediately, but at a time will come that it have the effect if she's guilty. Then continue. Yes, so this was the last point which we said, that you defame all the undefiled women who have drunk the water and survived, because people will say that they were defiled but married held their punishment in abeyance. However, Rebbe says, no, merit all the lethal effects of the water in abeyance, which means how the effect, how it works, and she neither bears children nor continues to thrive, but wastes away progressively, that at the end, she dies that death. So there is a machloket, a disagreement, if the water could be that merit will help her to escape the consequences or not. This is the first point in the Mishnah. The second point, we said that the woman brings a flower offering that has to be taken to the altar and the whole process. Now, if her mincha became tame before it was sanctified in a service vessel, because this mincha, first of all, there is all a certain quantity of flour and all what how it has to be prepared, but it also had to become sanctified by using a vessel, a service vessel, which the translation is, to make this mincha, to make it right as it should be. But if it becomes tome, if it becomes, for whatever reason, contaminated, so depends. If it was before it became sanctified by the vessel, it is like all other menachot that became tomeh before being sanctified in a kli sharet, means in this service vessel, v'tipadeh. So what happened? What do you do with this? This mincha, you can't bring as an offering because it's been contaminated. However,
Contaminated.
yeah, but
Contaminated.
contaminated. But
Con-
so what must you do? But there is still already took a certain part in a process that he became now partly holy, not completely finished the procedure, partly. So what do? It may be redeemed. You redeem this mincha, and you bring something instead. But you don't have to burn it. But if meshikit shabikli, but if it became tome, contaminated, after it was sanctified in this vessel, then it is like all other menachot, because there are so many. Now, we are starting in the Parsha, Vayikra on Shabbos, that all talking about all the sacrifices. So also, if you listen to the laning or read the parasha, you find that there is all kind of menachot, offering, flower offering, and all other menachot after they were already sanctified in the service vessel. If they become contaminated, then they have to be burned. You can't just redeem it and use it. They have to be burned. So here the same has got the same law. If this flower offering was already sanctified and it becomes tome, that it will be burned. However, if it is contaminated before it became tome, before it became contaminated, then you can redeem it and you bring something else. And then Mishnah continues. And these are the ones whose menachot must be burned. The following are in the cases, in the Sotah cases, where menachot will be burned and cannot be redeemed. One who says, I am defiled to you. A woman already in the middle of the process, she brought this flower offering. It became sanctified, and now she admits, after it was sanctified, she admits, you know what? I'm sorry, I am defiled to you. She admits. Now what do? You've got the flower offering already sanctified and to be burnt. Similarly, and if a case when two witnesses come and testify that she is defiled, also the same law has to be burned. ואומרת איני שותה. And what happened? There is a third situation. The woman went through the process. Now comes the point. She said, no, I will not drink. I don't want to drink for whatever the case is. She's decided that I'm not going to drink. So she doesn't admit she's guilty, but simply refuses to drink. What do? You can't force her to put the water in her. We'll see later there is a point where she cannot refuse, but here still the point is she can refuse to drink because as I said, only if the scroll was erased, then she can't, then they will see later, then force her to drink. But in case where it is not erased yet, then we don't force her to drink, then she doesn't have to drink. But what do you do with this flower offering with the mincha? It was already sanctified. What do you do with it? You have to burn it. This is another case where you burn. Another point, and one whose husband does not want to give her to drink. Could be that the husband had a second thought now. Up to now, he went through the whole thing, he accused her, etc., went through the process. Now, the last minute, husband says, look, I don't want her to drink. So, again, it's already been sanctified. You burn the mincha. Because as the Kohen administered the waters only with the consent of her husband. But if he refuses her to let her drink, then she cannot say, I'll drink. The husband must agree to it. But if he refuses now to give to drink, then she's not forced, and the mincha will be burned. Of course, the result in such a situation, there is a question if the husband can, after he accused her that she committed adultery, if he refuses to drink, can they continue to live as husband and wife? It's another discussion.
Rav, we've only got four minutes left.
Okay, as I said, it's a long Mishnah. We'll have to go through because it's got so many details of it. So we do as much as we can, and please God, hopefully that next week, when next week is still Wednesday, we'll have to do Wednesday because Thursday is Bdikas Chometz.
Yeah.
Correct? So we
Correct.
said, so we will do it like this week on a Wednesday night.
8 o'clock.
So all the next point, if a husband cohabited with her on the way to Beit HaMikdash, to the temple, or women who are married to Kohanim and not drinking, the effect is that their menachot must be burned. So this is half of the Mishnah. So we'll say with this, good night to you, and I won't see you before Shabbos. So good Shabbos, and we
Shabbos Arav.
Good Shabbos, Rav.
So remember, now you're 8 o'clock Tuesday, and next week you'll be Wednesday, not Thursday. Okay?
Great
Culture,
Arav.
Rav. Thank you so
Hi,
much.
gesund.
Thank you.
And
Ah, I have to be
And-
gesund,
and
all of you. All
long
of
life
us.
for my late mother.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chaim Arukin.
Hi, gesund.
Rabbi, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
With the fast of the firstborn next week is going to be on the Thursday. And if I'm traveling on an aeroplane, I'm flying to Israel on the Thursday, so I won't be able to go to a siyum. Can I make my own little siyum on the plane, or
For sure. Even learn Pirkei Avot.
okay?
Make a siyum on Pirkei Avot, and then you be okay.
Okay, shkoyach. Thank you very much, Rabbi.
So you're coming to Israel on
Coming to Israel on Thursday, yes.
for Pesach.
For Pesach, yes. So
Wonderful, Mark. Wonderful.
Okay.
very good.
So maybe you find the time to see me as well.
Please God, Hashem, Dinero, I'll make the time.
Okay.
Mark, how long will you be here? When do you
I'm
go
going to
back?
be 2.5 weeks. I'm going back I'll go back on the near the end of April. I'm not sure the date.
So the 24th, we have an event, a South African event. So the
Really?
event's in Telford in World Mizrahi.
You got a lot of load, a lot of a big suitcase.
Now I've got a lot. I only got 2 bags, but I'm bringing some meat for Pesach from my brother.
Wow.
We'll
Okay.
see.
Okay.
All right. Nasiya Tova. All the best.
Okay, good.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Shalom,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.